I want to talk about something today that is crazy important to me, and I'm going to share some stories in order to do it, and I hope that you will be patient and watch the few minutes longer than normal of my blog videos. And for those of you who I know have experienced this yourself, hopefully you will be in agreement and share, and those of you who might have done what I'm going to talk about will start to think about what you can do differently. I remember when I was a kid, about 7, maybe 8 years old, might even been 6, and we were actually at a Kmart, and I wanted to go over to the toy section, and my mom said I could, and I went over there. And I was really into Barbie dolls, loved Barbie dolls, and I'm looking at this shelf with all these little packages that you could dress up your Barbie dolls in, and it would have, you know, the pants or the skirt and the top and the shoes and the purse and all these little things. And I saw in one of these packages this pair of shoes that I wanted for my Barbie doll. And in that moment, as a young child with what I would say is no common sense yet, I started to open that package in the aisle at the Kmart and take those shoes out because I wanted them. And I got caught. And what I was told was that I was stealing. And I defended myself and said, no, I wasn't stealing anything. I just wanted those shoes, not the whole package. And I was told that's not okay. I can't steal it. So it's still stealing. So why do I bring this story up? I am so amazed how people will take ideas that they see that are somebody else's and just start to use them like they're theirs. And it doesn't matter if you intended it or not. It's stealing. It's plagiarism. It's not a good thing. It's bad karma. And you might not think so. You know, you might not be like I was at 7, taking that whole package of all the clothes and stuffing it under your shirt. You might not be taking the person's whole copy off of their page, or you might not be copying everything on their business wall, or you might not be taking the whole blog post. Maybe you're only taking a bullet point or two. Maybe you're only taking a concept or two. But it's stealing, just like me with those shoes. And I know that there aren't a lot of original ideas out there. Maybe there are, I don't know. Some would probably argue there are. But I think that there are a lot of us in similar industries that can learn from each other, but we have to learn to make it our own. So here's a positive example for you. Last August, I had a now very good friend and colleague of mine out. His name is Owen J.J. Stone. He's known as O Docta on Twitter. He came out in August and stayed with me. And while he was here, he set up his flip camera and he recorded me for what he calls his Friend Up Fridays. And he goes around and he's had, you name it, he's probably had them on his Friend Up Friday. Very famous people, very technically innovative people, to everyday business people like me, to just some of his best friends that are crazy and have crazy ideas. And I was really impressed by that. I took that idea and I wrote it down on a piece of paper and pinned it on my idea board, my idea wall that I have in my office. And more than 6 months later, February of this year, I created my version of that concept. I created what I call Facebook Fan Fridays, where from my Facebook page and based on how active the people who have liked the page, back then they were fans, now they're likes, how active they were in commenting and participating in the page, because let's face it, activity is important as the business owner, I would write a blog post and share information about this person to my list. And that I have done, and that's been my spin. I took Owen's idea of Friend Up Friday and his video and spun it my own way to Facebook Fan Friday, writing a blog post with a series of questions that I asked the person based on their activity. I made it my own. Another great example that I have recently is I finished this book. It's called Witchling by Yasmin Galenorn. I read a lot. I read more than a book a week. I read for work and for pleasure. And this book is actually a story about three sisters who have special powers. Now, for some of you, that might sound similar. That might sound like a TV show. I believe the show was called Charmed. And it was a story about three sisters who were witches. Now, in this book, one of them is nicknamed a witch. That's why, and this is the first in the series, Witchling. They all have different powers, though. They are from another world. They are part of an FBI. This was written in 2006, so Charmed is definitely older than that. They are part of an underworld FBI unit, if you will allow. And I'm not saying that Yasmin got her ideas from Charmed, but I'm saying I could see how maybe that inspired her to creatively come up with her own unique approach to Three Sisters and wanting to do fantasy and sci-fi writing. If you see something online that you like, take it and write it up on a wall and figure out how you can make it and spin it to be uniquely yours. Then it's not stealing. Then it's really creatively building and using your own energy to make it yours. And that, I think, is what's important. And if you can't do that, then let it go or ask permission of the creator of it to use it and give them credit for it. That's integrity. That's warriorpreneur lifestyle. That's smart business, and that's just good common sense that sometimes we all need to learn.